This video is of what I eat in a day to gain muscle. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, my name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping women over the age of 40 transform their bodies, and how I like to do that is through strength training and a great diet. Today I'm going to talk you through a typical day of what I eat to gain muscle. So at the moment, I'm eating either in a calorie surplus on my leg days, or on my upper body days, I'm actually eating on maintenance because I can't train as hard as I'd like to train. That's because I've got a bit of an issue with my shoulder. If I was able to train at my full capacity, I would be eating in a calorie surplus on my upper body days as well. So I'm about to head off to the gym a little bit later than I normally do because today is a big day. It's been back to school for my kids after almost 6 months off because of coronavirus. I've put back my gym visit to a little bit later on. I normally do it first thing in the morning, but I'm kind of doing it a bit later in the morning after they've gone off to school because I was so keen to kind of see them go off. So I'm just going to take you through now my pre-workout snack that I have before I go off to the gym. And so it's a really simple snack. I basically have a bagel. These are cinnamon and raisin bagels. They're a British brand, Warburton's, but you can use any brand that you like. I would say just go for the ones you like. And so I am actually going to have a whole one of those. Quite interestingly, cinnamon and raisin bagels are lower in calories than some of the other types of bagels. And what I like to do is I spread that with peanut powder mixed with water. And this peanut powder here, I bought that on Amazon. There's quite a few different ones on Amazon, but the reason I like this is because it's got no added sugar. I'm going to pop those in the toaster. And then I've got a couple of teaspoons of peanut powder, which I'm going to mix with water. Doesn't have to be hot water, it can be any water really. That's just water from the kettle, but it's cooled down. It's probably going to taste better if it's cold water. And then you kind of mix it up so it just goes into a peanut butter consistency. And what that's going to give you is a little bit of protein, and it's just not going to have the fat level that peanut butter has, so you can kind of eat more of that really because it's much lower in fat and therefore lower in calories. So I like that. I think it tastes absolutely delicious, and if you have it on your bagel, it's fantastic. So I'm going to spread the peanut powder mixed with water on my bagel, and that's it. That's my pre-workout snack. So I'm back from the gym now. I'm going to do my post-workout meal, and it's really important that I eat that within half an hour of training, and it has to have protein and carbohydrate because that's what's going to give you better protein synthesis. The same with the pre-workout snack. It's having that within half an hour to an hour before your training session is really going to help, and that's what made a massive difference for me in changing my body shape, is actually the timings of my meals. What I'm going to have today is my typical breakfast because it's really quick and easy, which is protein and oats. I use this protein powder. I'm not sponsored by this company. It's not really available in the USA. I don't believe. It's a company called PhD, and it's a plant protein. And then I'm going to have strawberries and banana on the top of my protein. I've been sent this new set of scales by a company called Rempo, and they contacted me and they wanted me to review them. So I'm going to give these scales a full review later on because it actually does a great deal more than the standard set of scales. So it's actually attached to an app where you can track and record all your macros and everything you're eating. So it looks really good, but I'm going to give you a proper review of it later on. So I'm just going to weigh myself out now. 50 grams of oats. So that's quite a lot because I'm now eating on maintenance. I'm not in a calorie deficit, which is absolutely fantastic. And in fact, sometimes I find it quite hard to get the food in. And then I'm going to put in this protein powder. So I'm going to go for a scoop of that, and I'm going to mix that with water. You can mix it with almond milk. So I've taken that out of the microwave now, and I'm just going to give it a stir. Add a bit of coconut milk from the refrigerator, not the tin stuff because that's way too high in fat. And this is like a sugar-free one. I always buy the sugar-free almond milks or plant milks. And you'll notice that this is a plant-based breakfast. I try to make at least 2 of my meals plant-based, and that's because my diet is very, very high in protein, and I could end up eating a lot of chicken, fish, meat, eggs, and you know, that's really damaging to the environment. Put some bananas and strawberries in. It's about half a banana there, and that's it. This is an amazing breakfast that I absolutely love. It's really filling. It's going to keep you satiated for hours and hours, and it's really healthy for you. So I'm going to talk about the importance of scales and weighing the food out, because when I do what I eat in a day, I always weigh my food out. Sometimes if it's something like protein powder, you can use a scoop measurement, but the sort of carbohydrates and the protein sources in particular, it's not so important if you're eating low carb veg. It's really important to weigh the food out. Otherwise, how do you know how much you're actually eating? So I was contacted by a company called Rempo, who offered me the opportunity to send this scale out to me. And I really wanted to take the opportunity because I actually have a set of their bathroom scales, which I'm really happy with. I've been using their bathroom scales for about a year. It's really helped me through my competition journey, because with their bathroom scales, it not only covers weight, it actually covers a multitude of other things like body fat percentage and everything else. But the review that I'm doing today is about these kitchen scales. These kitchen scales are a little bit different to what I'm used to. So that's why I was excited that they'd sent me this product, because I was thinking, oh, I hope it's linked to an app. And it actually is. So it's really clever, because what you can do is weigh your food out, and then that automatically goes into your phone onto the app. And you can start measuring and tracking all your calories and macros through the Rempo app. So it's actually a really clever bit of kit, and it's a little bit more expensive than the standard scales, but it actually does quite a lot more. I'm quite impressed with it actually. I've actually used the scales to weigh out the breakfast ingredients and plug those in. So I'm going to show you now how I did that this morning. I'll put a link in the description of where you can buy the scale. So we're back here for lunch, and I'm now going to start using these Rempo scales to weigh out my lunch. What I'm doing today is beef tacos for my lunch, which is a really simple, straightforward lunch. And I know a few of you have sort of contacted me saying, oh, you've got to cook for kids and it's really difficult to fit it in. So what I would suggest you do is kind of prepare and cook some of the food ahead, and then it's just a question of chopping things up and getting it on your plate, which is really easy if you've got a family to cook for as well. And sometimes they can eat with you. So something like this, the beef tacos, I would serve that to my kids. I'm just going to chop up the avocado now for my beef tacos. I'm going to weigh out my beef, and I'm going to have 100 grams of this. Putting the beef on the tortilla. I'm going to add a little bit of spinach, I've got this cheese, which is a high protein and it's a very lean cheese. I could weigh this out, but I'm just doing a few flakes of this, which would be between 5 and 10 grams. And then I'm going to wrap that up. And we're going to have an avocado salsa on the side. Spring onion and tomato there. And I've got a little bit of cilantro, I think you call it in the USA. We call it coriander. And I'm just going to add some lime juice there. And I'm just putting on some crushed dried chilies. So there you have my beef taco with avocado salsa. Enjoy! So I'm back for my evening meal and I am going to be doing a bit of cooking this time. So I'm doing a chickpea curry and it's really quick and easy. I like to keep things simple, and so the ingredients that I've got a carton, but you can use a can of chickpeas, and I'm going to be using 200 grams in my evening meal. Chickpeas are great because they're a source of protein and carbohydrate, and it's also plant-based. And I'm going to be putting in some of this savoury yeast. It's a vegan product. It adds a little bit more protein and a bit more fat. It's a really lovely kind of nutty, cheesy taste. And then I've got garlic and ginger paste. I'm lazy, so I just tend to use the paste rather than chopping them. Chili pepper flakes. Again, I'm lazy. You could use the fresh ones. It's up to you. I like to use this coconut milk for the curry. So I'm just going to weigh out my chickpeas. I can just put the pot straight on the scale. So again, I've got it in grams and I want 200 grams. These are drained now. I mean, it normally gives you the drained weight on the packet, but what I want is slightly less for my portion size. So that's 199, just shy of 200 grams. And again, that's going to store that information now in the app. I'm just going to add 200 ml of the coconut milk. Curry powder there. It's just a mild one, but you can have one to your taste.
I'm adding spinach, broccoli and spring onion here.
So the chickpea curry has been cooking for 10 minutes. That's all you need, and it's pretty much ready. So I'm just going to put it into this bowl. And I'm just going to get the scales out again. What I want to do is sprinkle some of this savoury yeast onto it. I want around 10 grams of the nutritional yeast, and that's going to give us some fats and it just adds flavour as well. And then finally, I'm going to put some cilantro on. So I haven't cooked that with it because it's quite nice to just have that on raw. And that's it. That's our amazing chickpea curry. For a snack, I've weighed out 100 grams of yoghurt. And I've previously made a protein and oat bar, but that's 30 grams of oats and a scoop of protein powder baked in the oven. And I did this on one of my previous What I Eat in a Day, so I'll link that down in the description. So that was what I eat in a day, and that was maintenance calories for me for my upper body day. And when I do my leg workout, I actually take my calories up higher because that was just short of 2,000 calories. And I normally go up to 2,400 calories on my leg training days. If you're on a calorie deficit, you can pretty much eat similar sort of food, but just take the carbohydrate down lower. So if If you like this video, please do give it the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to get the bell notifications, and do let me know what you think in the comments section. You can also give me a follow on Instagram, and I'm on TikTok now.